Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Podcasts. Everybody needs good podcasts with a little understanding. You can find the perfect blend. 2, 3, 4 podcasts should be there for one another, and that's when good podcasts become good friends.
Hello everybody, welcome to episode 144 of the Idle Matinee podcast. Hopefully this is our first video podcast, we'll find out. Let's just say who is here first. My name is Ben, or Barry, some people call me. This is Greg.
Bonsoir, je m'appelle Gregoire. That's good evening, I'm Greg in French.
This is Johnny.
Hello? Hello? Who's that? It's me, Johnny!
And I just want to tell you what this podcast is about if you haven't heard it before. If you have, welcome back. It's a 3-act podcast. The first act is where we just talk about shoot the breeze, and the three mates...
Talk about shoot the breeze?
We shoot the breeze with each other. Just three mates catching up with each other.
It's called Slice of Life, actually. We tend to talk about our lives.
The second act...
No. I'm not letting you do this again. Sorry. No, I'll introduce the podcast. Sorry, you didn't really talk about it last week. You just rambled on.
Why don't you do it, Greg?
The first ramble at all. Let me do... Don't
you didn't ramble. You didn't ramble.
Don't interrupt me.
No, by not rambling.
Well, let me do it, and then let's see if yours is better.
I would have preferred you fucking rambled, because then you'd tell people what the podcast's about. Last week, you just went blah, 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 blah. Didn't really describe it in the slightest.
First act is Slice of Life, where we talk about our lives and have a catch-up after we've said hello.
Not just that.
Second act is a list. Wait, let me finish.
Where's the fucking fire, you cunt?
In a minute.
What's wrong with you? Why are you doing it so fucking fast?
Well, you're not letting me finish. I want to do it, and then you do it. If you think you're better at it.
Yeah, I do.
Sorry, listeners and
Because
viewers about this.
you're just going too fast. Slow down.
The first act is where we talk. About. I've done that one. The second act is a crazy.
You've not described it. It said
we
talk about our lives, whether we've done anything interesting or not, and then we do also a movie review, because maybe we haven't done anything interesting that week, so then we'll talk about movie reviews, stuff like that, current affairs, internet news.
Things in that week, maybe, that have affected our lives.
That's what we cover in the first act.
If you let me finish, I'd have said that.
Are you only allotting yourself
You didn't let me finish.
20 seconds to describe the podcast? Most podcasts do an intro for about 10 minutes.
You didn't let me finish.
And then they do their podcast, then they have an outro for 10 minutes.
Not 10 minutes.
Every fucking time.
Surely not 10 minutes. Why would you do a 10-minute intro?
Do your fucking intro then.
Thank you.
Well, apparently the way you do a presentation, and maybe the way you should do a podcast, is you tell people what you're going to do, you tell them what you're doing, and then you finish by telling them what you've just done. Maybe not.
Oh, okay, I don't know. I can't be fucked. I don't know what
5, 4...
Podcasts. Everybody needs good podcasts with a little understanding. You can find a perfect blend. Podcasts should be there for one another, and that's where good podcasts become good friends.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Idle Matinee podcast, episode 144. Hopefully our first video podcast. We've tried this 3 times, but we want to get it just right before we release it to you on video. So hold tight, it is coming. So let's just say who's here and who we are. My name is Benjamin, the host, aka Barry. This is Greg.
Bonsoir, je m'appelle Gregoire. I say that in French because it rhymes. It doesn't rhyme in English.
This is Johnny.
Hello, who's that? It's me, Johnny.
And Greg's going to tell you what the podcast is about. Please, Greg.
It's kind of like a 3-act thing, like a movie or a play or whatever, or an opera or whatever, anything that's 3 acts. So the first act, we sort of talk about our lives, if we've done anything interesting, or movie reviews, stuff like that, internet news, and... I've forgotten. Fuck, I can't.
Second act.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, he's had enough already. Okay, I'll tell you what the second act is.
I'm not in the fucking mood for the podcast.
I'll tell you what. Let's just go through it and let them see it as it goes, because it sounds very exciting.
We get on fine. None of that was real. This is the sort of banter you're going to get. It's not going to all be arguing. The jokes start now.
The next thing I want to talk about is The Grey Man on Netflix. We watched that this week.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts about the big Netflix movie that's been bigged up for fucking ages?
I was expecting a lot more.
2
if I'm
stars
honest.
in it.
I was quite excited. When I saw Chris Evans' moustache, I was like, "Ooh, that looks. Is he a bad guy with
You
a
didn't
moustache?"
recognise him at first,
No, I
did
didn't.
you?
I was just, "Oh, is that Chris Evans?" I was like, "Oh, he's got a moustache. He's playing a bad guy." And I thought that could be quite fun because I think Chris Evans. Well, I did think Chris Evans was a good actor. Well, I still think he is. I just don't think this part was right for him. I don't think it would have been right for anyone because it was a badly written part. That character was one-dimensional at best.
Cartoon.
It was
Wasn't
like
it meant to be?
half-dimensional. I don't know, but so was Ryan Gosling's character. But I think he was slightly better in it, even though he was still shit. Because everyone had to be shit in it. Because I just thought it was a really badly written.
Do you think
film.
he'll be better as Ken in Barbie?
It was just the typical the drive. There's a drive with something on it and something. I mean, it's like
MacGuffin.
Enemy of the State, the typical MacGuffin. Yeah, but it's been done so many times before and better. It was obviously just an excuse for lots of action scenes, but the action scenes weren't that great. They were a bit muddled, some of them. You couldn't see what was going on in a lot of them. And then the overuse of drone. I like the drone shots. Don't get me wrong, but then it just seemed like they made the film just to do loads of drone shots. Didn't they do the Falcon and Winter Soldier or whatever as well? They did the same thing in that. There's loads of drone shots.
Didn't
and then
they
no
write?
substance.
They wrote a lot of Marvel films.
Yeah,
didn't
no,
they?
they did.
It's based on a novel, isn't it?
They did. What's it? Winter Soldier, I think, which
Yeah,
was really
yeah.
good. And they did one of the Avengers films, which was really good. But then
they did another action film that was on Netflix with Chris Hemsworth or something. Remember on the bridge with India or something? Where he rescues that kid, and it ends on the bridge, and there's a massive shoot off. He's rescuing that little Indian boy, and he has to get him out somewhere.
Oh, it rings a bell.
You remember it? You don't remember it? There's a massive action scene
have I
at the end
seen
on the
it?
bridge. Yeah,
I've
you've seen
watched it with you.
And it's a Russo brothers film. It's the other one they did before
It was
this one.
obviously a little bit
Yeah,
forgettable.
it's like this, just totally forgettable. Just
there you go. I can't remember
it's a
it, and I've
basic
watched
story,
it.
and it's totally forgettable.
There you go.
So I've got some
I
thoughts on
quite
it.
enjoyed it, and I said to
go.
my
Oh,
mum.
no,
I said to my mum to watch it, and then she said she started watching it and didn't like it and turned it off. So that should have been a clue.
I thought the first scene was great in the club sort of thing. I thought that was because it had lots of drone shots.
The first scene was the
sweeping
prison
in.
scene.
Oh, okay, whatever. The first big fight scene was in a nightclub or whatever, and that was quite well done.
Through the glass floors.
Yeah, and that was But then it just got cheesier and cheesier. And Billy Bob Thornton's character, and the way that everyone was just dying for Ryan Gosling, they'd be like just blow themselves up. Every sort of mentor character he had was like,
shit.
They came to the seat, and then it was like, and blew themselves up. Like, they did it twice. It's
now
like,
you mention it.
you do that once, like maybe in a film,
Yeah, it
but
was
then don't do it
rubbish.
twice. Like, yeah.
I thought the soundtrack was good. I've been listening to it at work.
It's fun to just watch. I mean, we watched it all the way through, obviously, because we wanted to see the action. But the final, just every line that Chris Evans said was just cheese and crap. It was just no, it wasn't even cheese. A bit of cheese, a bit of camp is okay. Like Alan Rickman in Die Hard, that's all right.
Yeah.
But he was just crap. It was just like really.
Oh God, I enjoyed it. I'm shit at film.
I like the bit.
Hopefully,
where-
I've changed your mind, like those other reviewers on YouTube.
I like the bit where he's superhuman and runs across the top of the tram. It's like something out of a
yeah, yeah,
Spider-Man
yeah.
film. He's like Captain America. in that bit. It's like Jesus Christ.
Well, they did the bit with was it Anna de Armas where she
she's
is
pointless as well,
she's
wasn't she?
Yeah, but she's a strong woman.
Yeah.
Because they even did a joke about her where he wishes he had a moment where he could save her, but he doesn't actually want to save her.
She's great. I love Anna de Armas
Oh,
and her boobies. But I mean, no. But other than her boobies, I did think maybe she'll get her boobies out. But then that is very.
I honestly thought we were all going to like it.
Well,
But
I was expecting to like it.
I've been listening to the soundtrack at work, and because I do like Silver Bird. But I noticed on there was what we were talking about last week, the Articulated Monkeys.
Oh yeah.
Why You Only Call Me When You're High. I hadn't heard that song before.
I haven't heard it. I probably never will.
Is that your argument for a fairly decent song they've done recently?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't know it's recent. I thought that was good.
I will say that they may have done some all right mediocre songs recently, but my main point was that they're not the greatest band to come out of England in a generation.
So I'll finish my. All I was going to say was it's worth listening to the soundtrack. There's the two weird songs from the weird scenes where they're in I think Oriental countries where they put weird sort of weird.
That
travel
song,
song,
that sort of thing. Yeah.
But the actual soundtrack itself is really good. It's on Spotify.
The film's like a travelogue because it shows loads of different countries they go to. So it's like they got a free holiday. So, what are your final thoughts on The Grey Man?
Bit lame. I don't think it deserves its 6.6 on IMDb. I think it's a 5. And that's only for the drone shots, in my personal opinion.
I enjoyed it. I'll give it 3 spinning wheels out of 5 Shirley Bassies.
And I'll give it 7 out of 1,000.
That's more like it.
It's probably quite
Let's
fair.
all just do a different scoring regime for the film. So you give it out of Shirley Bassey, I'll do it out of 1,000, you do it out of colours.
We just did.
colours. It's beige.
Beige, excellent.
Oh,
okay, let's talk about what's coming up later, Johnny.
And coming up later in the show, we take a look at the new She-Hulk Attorney at Law trailer and ask how long before we get a sex in Gotham City. Back to the studio.
So at the beginning of the show, we talked about... I watched another film called How to Please a Woman as well. It was on Sky about these women that hire sex
the Sally
workers,
Phillips one.
Sally Phillips, but they clean houses. It's a chick flick. It's not very good. Right, anyway, moving on from that.
I saw the Roadrunner, the Anthony Bourdain film, which is good, the documentary. So if you know nothing about Anthony Bourdain, I knew very little about him. I just knew he was a food... I thought he was a food guy or critic. I thought he was a food critic. I didn't realise he was a chef. I didn't know anything. I didn't know he wrote the book Kitchen Confidential.
His travel,
which
show,
is...
I didn't know he'd wrote that book, but I've read that book. And I was like, oh, right.
So that's how it starts. It starts with... He found fame at my age, sort of thing. He's like 43. Or,
25?
Oh, thanks, man.
62.
No, it's 40. It's 42. 42 or 43. Anyway, I'm 42. But yeah, he found fame. He was working in kitchens and stuff. He was doing all right in kitchens. But then it was after that book that he found fame, and then was all over the place. And then he got this travel show, which became really popular because he smokes, he drinks, he's sort of just he's a bit like a Keith Floyd.
Yeah, but he was a
American.
pioneer of that type of show. He was the first one to do a show where he's like going behind the scenes and seeing the underbelly and also the cooking side of things.
Yeah. He's not like Keith Floyd. That's a bit of a. I mean, because
he's been much copied. Even like Action Bronson, like has said that he was influenced by Anthony Bourdain.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he's been on The Simpsons and everything else.
What's he up to now?
Obviously, he sadly committed suicide a couple of years ago. Yeah, so the thing is, you're going into this documentary knowing that, and as it's discussed on Film Junk, there's an AI narration. So I didn't know this. Barry told me yesterday. He goes, I've heard about this on Film Junk. So the film starts and he's doing the voiceover and you're thinking, oh, right, this is very well made considering a lot of information there, considering he died or whatever. Anyway, but it turns out AI did the narration. You can't tell for shit. It's really good.
So I listened to his book on Audible.
Hi there, my name is Anthony Bourdain.
I like to travel. I like food.
Anyway, carry on, Johnny.
Spot on.
Cool.
Johnny, I have to chuck a joke in.
No. I just every time you get
found it very
ghoulish,
moving, especially because when it led up to the end, his life, because he committed suicide late in life, and after having a kid, he had a kid that he adored. And that had a lot to do with it because he didn't think he could live up to being the father. His romantic notion of being a father, which he had loads of romantic notions. He went travelling because it's all based on ideas from films, which I get because I'm so into films and I'm like, yeah, I want to go visit that place because I've seen it in a movie. And all his ideas of like travelling, Vietnam, everything else was all based on films. He's trying to recreate Apocalypse Now and all this shit, and it's like, oh, I get that.
Right, Johnny. Anything else, or can I talk about Neighbours? Because I'm really devastated.
You're Richard, aren't you?
Well, no, you just actually reminded me of something that we did have an email in.
Did we though?
Yeah, from HotFez84, and I don't know their preferred gender. So they said, "Great podcast last week, guys. If you guys are scared of dying by falling down the stairs, why not move to a bungalow and never go anywhere near stairs?"
Good one.
Well, that's absolutely true. That's what I want my parents to do. So, because I see them walking up and down the stairs, I'm just like struggling, and I'm thinking back to my nan, and I'm just like the same staircase. I'm like, you guys aren't that far off that age, and it's just, you know what I mean? Just one little thing like that, like a little divot. Like, I do that all the time. Still running down the stairs, I'll slip on my heels, or whatever. Go, you know, when you go down loads of stairs. On my own heels, you fucking, oh god! You know, if you're wearing socks or something like that, and you on the stairs,
I'll just say, Barry, I would have left that one because that joke was. I would just pause silently and just let the listener come to their own conclusion about what size feet have you got.
11, yeah.
Imagine size 11 ruby slippers.
My 9-inch pumps.
Greg Hickson's drag race. What's your drag name?
G-girl.
Battered sausage.
Hairy battered sausage.
Battered sausage.
No, G-dog bit stands for girl. Girl dog.
Imagine him clicking his size 11 ruby slippers together at the top of the stairs and go, I want to go home. And then he went, doof, 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 at the end of EastEnders.
No, I mean, because I'd fall down the stairs every time if I was wearing heels, yeah. I mean, just if you're just running down and you go like, oh, and you're just running too fast downstairs. And you go, but because our legs are still, I mean, we're only in our 40s and we're quite young 40-year-olds, so... we're okay. We could have a tumble. We'd probably still be all right. We wouldn't bounce, but we'd be okay, probably.
What about running up that hill?
But running up that hill.
If you're talking about songs, do you know the Fats Waller song? Your feet's too big. Maybe that's where you're going wrong.
Yeah. But anyway, I do what? Yeah, bungalows. Good idea. Thanks, whoever that was. What's the name? Hot Shit 43.
Hot Fez 84.
Hot Fez.
So idlematinee@gmail.com. Email us in. We always read your emails out, but no one ever emails in, so we just make them up. Right, okay, so because we only got one listener. We used to have 25. No,
we have millions now on YouTube. After that big argument at the beginning, everyone's been like, whoa, you got to see this shit, man. They're like real guys. They're like all real friends.
You can suck my cock.
I sing this song. What does this make you think of? Neighbours.
Oh, Home and Away. Straight
Excellent.
away.
37 years it's been on television. Probably by the time you listen to this or watch this, it would have finished. It finished on a Friday. And everybody came back for the final episode. So we're
Bouncer? Did Bouncer come back?
No, it was all Bouncer's dream.
All the bouncers.
We're never going to watch any of it. I'm not going to watch the final episode. But what I do know is that they brought loads of celebrities back for the final episode, haven't they? So let's do our own little improvisation of that. Now, I'll be working behind the counter at Lassiter's in the hotel, and the Neighbours cast are having a reunion on Ramsey Street because they're selling the houses and some of them are moving away, and they've got some of the old cast back together just to say goodbye because they're closing it down and redeveloping it. That's our storyline of the final episode of Neighbours. So I'll be in the hotel, and I'll be introducing the guests as each one of them comes in. Now, we know that
the famous Neighbours Hotel.
Lassiter's.
Yeah.
Was that a hotel?
Oh, it's called Lassiter's.
Yeah, I'm going to be bad at this then. I'm going to be bad at this.
Johnny will be...
I'll be Bouncer.
It was just a set, but yeah, it was meant to be a hotel.
And you'll be a character, and I'll be just saying your names, and you'll be coming in. So here we go, and I'll be saying who you are. So... good morning. I'm just going to put some stuff up here, put this down. I hope we're going to have a busy time in the hotel. Ding! Our first guest. Oh, it's Charlene Robinson. Hi, Charlene.
Oh, g'day, guys. I'm 50 odd now, and I've got kids.
Well, here's your key to your room, Charlene.
Okay.
See you in a bit.
I was hoping to see... there was a guy that I used to be involved with back in the 80s. His name was Scott. I suppose he's here, is he?
Who's this?
Oh, never mind. Oh, what?
Oh, hello, Charlene.
It's Scott Robinson.
I'm off the heroin. Do you fancy a shag?
What? I didn't know he was on the heroin. That's okay. I don't mind. It gives you a bit of edge. I like a guy with a bit of edge.
I got my mallet back.
Oh, yeah, love that. Yeah, sweet as. They've kind of come back round, haven't they? They used to be like... They went. Everyone took the piss out of them, but now
business in the front, heroin at the back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you two will want to go up to a room together because we've got plenty more old faces to meet.
Sweet.
So we can't have a you hog reception. So off you go, you two.
Especially for us.
Up to your room.
Oh, wait. Did you get the room especially for us?
I got it especially for you.
For us.
Okay, bye guys.
They got a room so we can have
Thank
a
God they've
little
gone.
shag.
Bye
or something.
guys.
Have you got those gold hot pants?
Bye guys.
Bye.
Could you not let me
thank
sing
God.
the song now?
No.
No, just
Can you
gonna
leave
keep
reception?
moving
We've got
on.
more people in
Just
coming
gonna
in the
keep on
hotel.
moving on. Let me sing the song.
Goodbye, Charlene.
Fuck you.
Okay, let's see who else we got in here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's quiet now. Them two have gone. Yeah, I like just working in reception on my own. I wonder who else is going to turn up. Well, look who it is. Kenny Larkin. Russell Crowe. Kenny Larkin.
I'm Zeus.
Why are you talking about people we know?
I'm Zeus.
I'll give you the name. Who played him? Famous people. Kenny Larkin's back.
Kenny Larkin's a guy we know who's a pest controller.
No, Kenny Larkin was in Neighbours, mate.
Yeah, I'm check it out.
Kenny
on the list.
Larkin.
Oh,
Russell
okay.
Crowe.
Fair enough. Sorry, that we know. Sorry, because I know someone called Ken Larkin. So yeah, that's a bit.
Well, he'll be happy to be mentioned.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. How was I meant to know Russell Crowe played Kenny Larkin?
Well, I'm not going to mention your mate's name, am I?
Yeah, I know, but then
You're meant to know every character in Neighbours. Do you not fucking prepare for this?
No, I knew Guy Pearce played Mike. I don't know who Margot Robbie played.
It's just a Google search,
Oh,
mate.
dude.
Anyway, we'll get Johnny to play. Hey, Kenny, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm the Spaniard. I buried my family in the thing in that film Gladiator.
Kenny, do you remember Donna? Donna Friedman?
I know Donna.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Fuck me, do I remember her?
Sorry, who are you asking questions? So who are you meant to be? Am I Russell
I'm
Crowe?
Russell
No, it's
Crowe.
Kenny
You're
Larkin,
Margot
Russell
Robbie.
Crowe.
I'm sorry.
You're
okay.
Donna Friedman.
Oh, fuck me.
Margot Robbie.
Hi, Kenny. Still got the pest control in business.
Donna, Kenny, it's good
I'd love
to see you
I'd
two
love
back
to
together.
wolf your Wall Street.
Oh, I see what
painting.
I see what you did there. Yeah. I mean, I don't know because we're going to talk about the films we've gone on to do because it doesn't really make sense as our characters in Neighbours,
Well,
does it?
here's your keys, guys.
I
Go
don't
up
know
to
what
your
the
rooms.
fuck I did in Neighbours.
I thought we were.
All I know is what I did after I
Are
did
we the
Neighbours.
actors getting ready to shoot the last scene, or are we
No,
actually on Neighbours?
at the beginning of the skit, I said that you're coming into the hotel. Well, that's fine. No, because you're not very good at these sort of things. That's fine. You're a bit slow.
Sorry, Greg.
You're coming into the hotel and you're because we've already done a couple.
Because I won't remember the characters. Yeah,
and I'll introduce the characters and you play the characters.
Okay.
So here's your keys to your rooms.
Oh, thanks.
Penny, off you go.
Thanks. Let's go upstairs.
Who else
Lovely
is going
legs.
to turn up at the Lassiter's reception? Who used to be in Neighbours? Who's come back to Neighbours? Oh, who is it?
Yeah, but you wouldn't say that in the...
It's Felicity Scully.
Why don't you do the fucking thing? Because as soon as I start talking, you start introducing someone else.
You got to be
I'll just do a fucking another Australian film on it. I'll just get even higher.
Holly Valance.
Fuck off.
Oh, Holly Valance.
Oh yeah, I know. Well,
Do
yeah.
that.
How are you going to tell the difference between each character? I'll just make my voice even higher each time.
Well, Holly.
How many Australian birds can I do?
I'll get you. I see you've come in with Jim Dale, a.k.a. Jim Robinson, Alan Dale.
Yeah. I mean, Jim.
Well, I'm going to take this quite serious. I don't know how to do any more voices, really.
Okay, well, let's just keep going. We've got 15, we've got 20, about 30, 50 people to get through. Come on, guys. You've got to put more effort in than that.
Good day, mate. Right, I'll go back to that one. Let's get reset.
No, I've run out of cutouts now.
Okay, here's Beth. Natalie Imbruglia.
Okay, yeah. What about Craig McLaughlin?
I'm just touching
Yeah,
myself
Henry.
up. I'm just touching
Henry
myself.
Ramsey.
It's Beth
he had
and
a
Joe
good mullet.
Mangle.
Oh, he was good.
Huh?
Joe Mangle.
Did he get cancelled?
All right, it's me, Joe Mangle.
You're having a shit,
How's
Joe?
it going? I'm always having a shit. If you look at my face, it's like
Didn't Joe Mangle get cancelled for blacking up?
Fuck off, no. Mark Little. Good old Mark Little, he went on to do...
Johnny, stop breaking character.
I know, it's just I'm interrupting.
You've already killed the fucking sketch 3 times. You can't be doing this, mate, when we go live. You can't kill those improvs like that. Anyway, fuck that. That's ruined the whole Neighbours bit I had planned. That's the end of that. Right, Johnny, go on.
What are
you
we
got?
going to do? Just go up to the
Fuck
room?
Neighbours, I
Just
don't care about it.
More and more people going up to the room?
No, don't matter, Johnny, what we're going to
No, I
do.
want
It's
to know.
over.
What were you planning?
Don't matter.
No, it does. Don't be like that.
Okay.
You do care.
Right, okay, let's move on.
All right.
Right, so let me ask you this.
We nearly saved it then, but I don't think we did.
What were you going to save?
I was going to say this. Fuck off. Each week we do a philosophical question, and this week's philosophical question, because we like to get a bit highbrow, is where is the line between art and not art?
Well, when it's shit.
The word not.
Literally
Well, like
shit.
modern art, again, modern art is just kind of shit. Like, you know what I mean? All the stuff's like, oh, well, it's just, you know, like a Jackson Pollock. You know what I mean? It's like, well, any child could have done that, really. It's like, where's this? Oh, but it's a Jack.
I disagree.
He sprays his paint like this. And what's that one, the famous one with just the geometric lines? It's just a yellow square and a black line.
The Jackson
and
Pollock's quite difficult to do.
No, okay, the Jackson Pollock's a bit, because you've got to put fucking, there's a lot of arm. You're using some, you know what I mean? You're using a bit of welly with
No,
that.
to actually make it look good, it's quite difficult because there's loads of people on like TikTok and on Instagram that try and do that type of thing and it looks shit.
Bad example.
In comparison.
Okay, bad example. But the one I'm talking about, the one with the lines,
I know what you
like the one that fucking Mr. Bean ruined or Rowan Atkinson ruined in that stupid Bee thing on Netflix.
Yeah, I know what you're on about.
I think it's the same. I think that's the one I'm talking about. Or it's something like that. Anyway, that picture in that thing was similar to the one I'm talking about. You all know the shit I mean. It's something that's.
You all know the shit.
It's something you could have done at home, or that you could recreate at home.
My kid could have done that.
Yeah, quite easily.
I saw something this week that actually sums it up in that like a lot of people now these days don't like Banksy, but he did come up with an original idea in street art. But if you remember in that, was it through the...
Exit through the gift shop.
Exit through the gift shop.
That was good.
Mr. Brainwash was on it. He's now got an exhibition coming out this week or trying to sell his artwork, and he is fucking shit. It is everything he does is completely derivative and fucking awful. So what I would say is... just Google Mr. Brainwash, his latest show, and that will show you the difference between, I would now say, Banksy and all the people he rips off, like Koons and all those other people, Jeff Koons, that he rips off, actually makes them look like art. His stuff is absolutely disgusting and he's vile.
Cool beans. So yeah, and Tracy Emin, like the tampon in her bed or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, well I could just do it. I could roll out of bed. I could just show someone my bed and go out of the bedroom and go, look, man, that's and that's probably saying more like about. I've spent years making that look that shit. She just went like, oh, I made something.
I don't know. There was one piece. It wasn't by Tracy Emin, but it was a piece where it was just a pallet with a load of bricks on it, and it did make me feel something. It made me feel like a bit jittery, like I was 15 and I had to move him for my dad.
Well,
Yeah.
do you remember that fire extinguisher that Cleaner moved and everyone thought it was a piece of artwork in a gallery once?
Exactly, it's shit like
Or
that.
the bin bag that
The
they threw
pretension.
out that was meant to be art.
You know, the art world is
It's all about
fucking
money
pretentious.
laundering.
I like the Renaissance date or whatever. When they just drew life-size pictures of people that looked exactly like fucking people with all like, and you're like, wow. Then that's what I mean.
They actually did them
decent watercolor landscape and.
those oil paintings they actually did with a projector. They did with a
Oh, you're
What?
talking about Vermont's.
yeah, a lot
Well,
of
they
the
could-
old
there's that
modern.
Oh, yeah, well, they still painted. I mean, yeah.
Is it called? What's that documentary called? It's Vermont's Veneer, and he talks about how they couldn't work out how he got these pictures so photorealistic, and then that guy recreates how he did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
Well, whatever. Sistine Chapel.
that's very good. Yeah,
Produced by Penn
Like the
from
Mona
Penn and
Lisa
Teller.
is very small, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it's tiny.
So I think if you glue yourself to it, is that art?
Well, the Mona Lisa wasn't actually that
Apparently,
famous, was it?
Why
Until
not?
it got stolen.
Sistine Chapel. That's art. Yeah. All that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
God and David. Or
You know
whatever
the
it is.
story of the Mona Lisa, though, didn't you?
Huh?
It wasn't
God and
actually
Adam.
that
Sorry,
famous.
it's God and Adam, isn't it?
It
Sorry,
got stolen.
creation.
It wasn't famous. It got stolen. There was loads of media hype around it, and then it became a really well-known photo
Like the
painting.
like the World Cup.
Mona Lisa.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a janitor stole it from
Something
the Louvre.
like that.
No, yeah, but years ago. Or
Very much
something.
like the World Cup, and it got found by a dog, and now everyone loves football.
Pippin.
There's an interesting story about that someone stole. Wasn't it recently? Didn't he?
1930s, I think.
Was it? I thought,
Yeah.
I thought it was more recent. I don't know.
I thought it was a way of finding all this
Oh,
stuff
fuck
out.
that. Let's not-
This is boring. Anyway, we know. I think we've solved that problem about art, don't you?
Art is boring.
Yes.
Excellent.
Show me a nice landscape.
Right, let's move on. So, my next big question for you guys is: we haven't got long left before we're all dead, so I'm going to ask you this: how long could you survive in the wild? Like Chris Corditt, what's that name? Chris, the guy Into the Wild. Remember him?
Bear Grylls.
Lived in a van. You think? I'll answer the question. I'll look him up.
The thing he played, the guy from
You answer the question. I'll look him
Dogtown
up.
and Zebra.
What
He
type of
ended up dying.
Yes. How long could you live
He
in
went
the
in a
wild?
camper van and he ended up dying.
What type of wild?
Woods. Let's start with the woods.
Right, so this is my thing. Okay, so if we had a blackout, okay, all tech went. It's like, doom, no electricity, the houses are useless,
In
hot
the
water
woods?
and everything else. No, but this is why we're going to the woods. I'm saying that
Oh, okay.
you can't just put yourself in the woods, can you? It's like there's got to be
Oh
a
no, I'm
reason
saying
for it.
scenario. So I reckon I'd last longer than the Russian in The Sopranos.
Yeah, okay. So my thing is, I'm like, right, I've got bow and arrow, right, and I'm thinking I could be quite good at hunting. So my main thing is like, right, so got to hunt your own food, okay? So I'll go looking for rabbits and shit. So I'd be pretty shit to begin with.
Use
My
darts.
best bet would be pheasants and stuff like that. I know where there's loads of pheasants, and if I was going down towards my parents' house in Western Turville, I'd find some game or whatever.
Do you reckon you could prepare it? Are you a
Well,
pheasant
this is where I'd fall down. This is what I'd struggle with more. I think I'd be better at the hunting and gathering
than
but I wouldn't-
opposed to being a pheasant plucker?
Yeah, I'd be a pleasant, fucker. I couldn't be a pheasant plucker. I don't think. I'd have to get used to it.
Or the pheasant plucker's son?
Hey. How does the rest of that go?
And he's going to be plucking pheasants till
There you go.
someone fucks a pheasant.
Until someone fucks the pheasant. So yeah, bow and arrow man. Doom. Hunter and gathering, looking for mushrooms.
You with your bow and arrow.
So I'd be like, Johnny, cook that shit for me. Do you reckon you could do the pleasant fucking in, or the
I reckon, yeah.
the skinning the rabbit? Yeah, skinning rabbit, stripping it.
If I was
doing all that shit.
starving and someone
Yeah.
gave me a pheasant, I reckon I could get it
I
plucked.
think if I'd managed to kill the fucker, I'm going to end up playing around with a fucking penknife. And,
Don't kill the fucker. You need
Cutting
to
it as
get
well.
it plucked.
but yeah, you're going to have to recall all your Ray Mears stuff and be like, oh shit, I didn't listen. It was so impressive in watching him do that, but I didn't learn anything.
We've just found a body over here. He's lying down next to a pheasant.
He's got an arrow in the back of his head.
It's like the pheasant wasn't done. It was just like stuck in the side. It's like, yeah, biting
Looks
its
like
time.
he spent weeks trying to pluck it.
Pheasant's there with an arrow in it, just lying there, pretending to die. And I walk up to it and it's like,
Just kill cats.
yeah.
You're talking about urban survival.
No,
No, in the woods.
No,
we're
it's
talking
in the
about.
woods.
You said
can't-
it's in the
All
woods.
rabbits.
Next week we'll do a
You
different.
get lots of cats. I'm not shooting cats with my bow and arrow. I mean, yeah, that's better. Yeah, okay. If we had a blackout, actually, I'd just shoot all the cats. You're right. That'd be
Cats-
there's fucking loads of-
Cats taste like rabbit, my
And
dad
cats
said.
aren't going to stop. Cats aren't going to stop just sleeping on the neighbour's car. When there's a blackout, yeah, cats. You just go for the cats because the cat's going to still be sleeping on that car over there. So I just walk up. Boom, it's not even moving. Easy.
Or you go,
Yeah, and then just smash its
or
head in.
play
with a mallet.
dead, and it comes to eat you.
The cats are too nice, but rabbits are nice as well. But then you see, but why? Yeah, why shoot a rabbit over a cat? So
Okay. You've got to get away. You've got to escape. Someone kidnaps you. They
I
blindfold
wouldn't
you.
shoot. I wouldn't shoot a cat.
Okay. Well, someone kidnaps you. They blindfold you. They take you to like the woods, not in this country, like miles away. So you've got to survive in the woods, like middle of nowhere. You start first, Johnny. What's the first thing you do to survive?
So I'm in the woods. Well,
Yeah,
day,
you've just
day
been
or
dumped
night?
in the mids.
What's the
Let's
weather
say
like?
morning, mid-morning, nice weather.
And
Middle of nowhere.
Firewood.
first thing I do is try and get a vantage point to see where I am and get my bearings.
Okay, so what? So the first thing you do is hide up a tree, or you go up a tree, scout out for the area. Okay.
I'll be assessing the situation.
Okay, got you. But then surely firewood would be the second thing.
Well, depending on what I assessed.
Yeah. Well, well, yeah, I suppose you've got to assess
When
the
I'm a
place
tree
first.
and found out I was outside Argos,
I
I'll
suppose
probably
there's
just
no point
fuck off.
collecting loads of firewood for a place that's dangerous if there's loads of wolves on the horizon and you're like, oh shit, I can't
Or
camp
if I was
here.
just outside a shopping centre.
But if there's loads of wolves, then you'd probably be not in England because there's no wolves in England, is there now?
They were thinking about putting them back in Scotland, weren't they?
I think there's wolves in Germany still.
Are we talking about wool sausages?
Wolves.
Oh, wolves. Sorry, you guys don't talk properly.
With a V. Wolves. I do. I had elocution lessons at Edgerton Rothsay Private School.
So you've been dumped in the fields, in the woods.
And he elocuted himself.
I electrocuted myself.
I don't want to hurry you, but come on, guys.
So, yes, I'm looking for... We've assessed the situation. We've climbed a tree. We've had a look out. We've assessed there's no wolves on the horizon, so...
Safety first.
We've, yeah... So then now we've looked for wood, found kindling, dry kindling. So I've remembered all the woods that Ray Mears told me to find. See, this is sort of stuff.
What about Bear Grylls?
Bear Grylls doesn't help you. Bear Grylls is like, right, because he's like last resort. It's like, if you can't remember any of the real stuff like Ray Mears, then you can just look under a stone and eat some ants. And that should suffice for an on the...
Because you've got to find an elk
food.
before you can eat its bollocks, haven't you?
What is that? An
Bear
saying?
Grylls.
Oh, right.
He's always eating like elk bollocks.
Oh yeah,
and stupid stuff.
exactly.
You've got to get the elk first.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, come on, man. He's a bit like he's like the Hugh Fearnley Whittingstall of survival. He's like, all you need, like Hugh Fearnley Whittingstall. All his recipes started with like, so just get your white muslin sheet and then press the cranberries into it. It's like, what muslin? Where are you getting this fucking muslin sheet from, man?
All these muslins coming here into our country.
I'm Bear Grylls, and I'm 100% behind Liz Truss.
Yeah, I was saying muslin then, not Muslim, just for anyone on YouTube that.
So, anyone here love that song on the Jet 2 advert?
So no more survival then, no?
No,
next week. Continue next week.
It's shooting rabbits. It's
I can't wait to see what happens next week.
Shooting rabbits. It's shooting rabbits, making a fire. That's the thing. Castaway is making a fire. That's what I'm saying. If you haven't got a lighter, if you haven't got anything, like doing the proper thing, like, so if you're just plonked in the woods, it's like, right, make a fire out of the woods. What do you know what woods do? You've seen it done. You're like, oh, do I rub the stick? Do I do the flints? You know what I mean? But like Castaway, it shows him doing it. It's quite realistic how he doesn't do it straight away, and you see him gradually getting skinnier and skinnier, and he's fishing for, fish with his spear. He's fishing for fish,
Not for elk
Funny
bollocks.
yeah, fishing for elk bollocks. They might have floated by. So he gradually learns how to do the fire thing, and he's trying it and trying it and trying it. He finally gets the little embers, and it's really realistically done. I remember Ray Mears talking about it because it was like, camping stuff, like real stuff, survival stuff in movies, and he's like, right, what stands up to scrutiny or whatever.
So I think this could be an ongoing segment, and just I'm wondering at what point will we get to cave painting?
What? I see you as a Christopher McCandless character.
Christopher McCandless.
Candleless.
He's got no candles.
No, it's spelled Candless. How would you say that?
CND.
Don't know.
Christopher McCandless, the guy that died in the van and ate the
Oh,
poison
sorry, right,
mushrooms.
got you. Right.
That's you.
Got you.
Into the wild.
Emil Hirsch played him in the film.
Yeah.
I think the only word
It was a mile away from a road.
Did you spell it CND? I think the only
What an
word
idiot.
spelled CND is actually CND.
Could I just say,
Sorry,
what
mate.
are we going on about?
What are you talking about?
You just said
Over
you
what I was
spelled his
saying?
surname CND.
Candless.
Oh, I didn't hear the A,
You
sorry, I
you were talking
apologise.
over me,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah,
as I
sorry.
was
Yeah,
trying
that's
to
all
say
right. Don't
so.
worry about it. It's fine.
You can wait. You got to wait till someone's finished.
No, I did. There was a pause.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Just say
Accusing
again.
me of going too quickly, eh?
Yeah, fucking hell. No, John, you are the
I
king
think
of
we're all
interrupting as well.
guilty here.
A little bit. Hands up.
Fucking hell.
Right, do that bit again, because I've got a bit to say about that.
I see you as a Christopher McCandless character.
And then what happened? You said he didn't die.
He died in a van eating poisonous mushrooms. He was only a mile away from a road.
If only he'd fucking taken Johnny's advice, the first rule of thing, he'd climb a tree and assess the situation, then you'd seen he was a mile away from the road.
Get up a tree.
Boom.
There you go. See, Johnny, if you hadn't interrupted, we could have...
Yeah, I
could have
apologise.
used
I
your
actually
joke,
thought there was a gap there.
Or whatever. Yeah.
No, don't think there's a gap. You can give it a little bit of a pause, like
Yeah.
you said, Johnny.
Yeah, don't
big
just
pause.
sleep.
Someone
got
once
to
told me on a podcast, they
Yeah,
gave me
yeah,
a wonderful
did they?
bit of advice.
Oh,
They
go on,
said,
go on.
don't rush it. Don't keep rushing it. If there's a pause, you don't have to suddenly speak again, because... something like
Because
that.
was it angels rush in where fools fear
I think
to
it was
tread?
you 2 minutes
Yeah,
ago.
Yeah.
you silly cunt.
Right, I've got something else, unless you want to say something, Johnny, please.
Coming up later on the show, Ben from Tipping Point is very much like that bloke that comes up to you in a pub when you're playing on the fruit machine and tells you how to play it. Back to the studio.
Good one, mate.
Any of you boys ever had a peak experience? Do you want me to tell you what a peak experience is?
I was gonna
Romance slang.
That's romance. Goes peak. That's peak, bruv. Like, yeah, I've had loads of peak experiences. Yeah, you're not going to give us an opportunity to answer. So you go.
I'm not
Have you guys
talking.
ever had a peak experience? Shall I tell you what a peak experience is? You didn't even, you know.
Who's
let us-
talking? You or me?
It's just calm, fam. It's just calm.
You asked us a question. Then you didn't. Then
waiting.
yeah, but you didn't answer. You said then you
I don't
carried on.
think, I don't think he did
telling us.
actually leap in.
I don't know what peak experience
think
is,
you
but I
leapt
wanted to do
in.
a joke about it.
Well, go on then.
Yeah, I've had loads of peak experiences, bruv. I was like, walked out the house the other day and I nearly got hit by a car.
He's fell into a trap. Peak is actually when you're in one of those experiences like you're in the wilderness, isn't it? On a peak. No.
No.
Oh.
I did let you speak. I said, would anyone like to explain it? No. Okay. A peak
Now I want you to explain it because I
Tell me
don't
if
know.
you've
what it
had
means.
one.
Mountaineering?
A peak experience is an altered state of consciousness characterized by euphoria, often achieved by self-actualizing individuals. The concept was originally developed by Abraham Maslow, Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah, needs. I know that
in
one very well.
1964, who describes peak experience as rare, exciting, oceanic, deeply moving, exhilarating, elevating experiences that generate an advanced form of perceiving reality and are even mystic and magical in their effect upon the experimenter. A couple more quick, hopefully finished.
So I think
So yeah, I've taken drugs, yeah.
famously in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, he said that's peak, fam.
There are several unique characteristics of a peak experience, but each element is perceived together in a holistic manner that creates the moment of reaching one's full potential. Peak experience can range from simple activities to intense events. However, it is not necessarily about what the activity is, but the ecstatic, blissful feeling that is being experienced during it.
Yeah, so being on drugs, yes. So I've taken drugs before. If in answer to your question, yeah, I've been on drugs before and gone like, hey man, this feels cool. I'm having a
But
peak experience.
You don't have to be on drugs to be in a flow state, do you? It's like the podcast.
Yeah.
You could just be naturally cool.
Like you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Do you think when you do this podcast, do you ever have a peak experience?
Yeah, sometimes.
When it's flowing and you do a
you're like,
really
"Whoa!"
cracking joke?
Yeah, and you're like, bang, whoa.
Whoa, knocked out
I'm
the
sure what
park,
happened
bro.
tonight. Because of all the YouTube pressure, you know, but...
I just feel I have to come every week because I've got nowhere else to store my stuff that's up in that room upstairs.
Knocked it out of the park, bro. You
Yeah.
need to clip that.
No, you're right. Yeah, you can have a peak experience without doing drugs, but I don't know. The way you started describing it to begin with, it just sounded like you just sounds like someone on drugs going like, "Whoa,
I think that's the
get it
feeling.
now."
I think that's
Yeah.
the feeling.
But it doesn't. You don't have to be on drugs to have it. I get what you're saying. Like the flow, the guy in the what's it? Soul. Is it Soul? The Pixar film. Yeah, with Jamie Foxx. The guy. The
Is
guy
that any good? I haven't seen that yet.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's good. The
watch
guy
that.
that Graham Norton plays, the spinny sign guy, and he's in a flow state, and that's
Oh,
when
yeah.
they're able to go to heaven. All the people who are in a flow state, they've got like a weird link to heaven.
I forgot
And
that's
they're
good,
there,
that
yeah, that's quite. So yeah,
Oh, I'll watch that then.
kind of thing. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm not that good at spinning signs.
Is that on Disney?
Next week,
Pixar,
Johnny
yeah.
reviews Soul.
No, I'll watch
Yeah,
that.
so it's on Disney
I'll
Channel.
watch
yeah.
that in this week.
Oh, God, I can't wait for you to watch that. Mate, what's that mean when you're watching it? Tell me you're watching it.
What do you mean?
Just say, I'm watching Soul, and I go, oh, peak
There's
experience.
loads of
Oh yeah,
watching
sorry. I thought you said
There's
yeah,
loads,
I'll
of,
text you.
there's loads of things on like on Disney that I'm actually watching. Decent Pixar stuff, which people like loads of people have spent like years making, and I'm like, oh, don't bother watching that. I mean, everyone should watch Pixar. I mean, if they've spent that much time making
You've
it,
got to watch our podcast.
it's not like
You've got to watch this podcast.
I'm going to CGI the whole. I'm going to Pixar to reanimate this whole podcast. You've got to watch it now. It's on Disney.
Because sometimes you think if you've got your face too close to the screen, do you think it's like you can't see the whole? You can see the pixels, but you can't see the whole picture. In a way, they say you can't see the wood for the trees. Like when we were stuck in that last.
What the
bit.
fuck are you going on about, Johnny? Are you talking about sitting too close to the TV?
No, I'm just saying. Sometimes you're too close to something. They say you can't see the
Are you
wood for the
retarded?
trees. Like when you're stuck in the.
Yeah.
You can't say retarded.
I know. I think I
because
can.
you got a lisp. No, it's like I think the modern way would be I can't see the picture for the pixels.
Yeah. I guess.
Sorry.
Whoa, that's really sucked down my peak experience.
I was having a peeker there.
Really
and
drained it out of me. So, what item do you have that's been passed down the generations with your family? What thing do you cherish that's got sentimental value to you? Your granddad's coat, your granddad's ashes, your granddad's old
family
glasses?
dildo.
The family dildo.
Yeah.
Is that a joke or are we being
It's just,
serious?
yes, from father to son, the arse intruding dildo, and the male dildo, not the lady dildo. It's
Oh,
huge, for a big gaping butthole. No, of course not. I don't know why I went there. Just trying to be kind of fun. That's not even funny.
It's kind of sad.
It's funny because it's true.
Kind of sad, really, isn't it?
Yeah, no, yeah, big dildo. That,
While you're thinking
I'd
about
say my assets and cash,
yeah, that's a good one. Assets in cash.
which would actually be a really good police team up. Film.
I'm assets. He's cash.
I mean, I've had clothes off my dad, like jackets and that were too big for me at the time, but it'd probably fit me now, but wouldn't fit him because we've reversed sizes, sort of thing. But I don't know.
I had a Casio watch.
And he's got no, I haven't got anything like.
Right. So, would you like to relive that moment of your father giving you something that you can cherish?
Nah,
Well, let's do it.
Let's do it. I know my watches. He's given me all his G-Shock watches.
We're on camera.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I've got a couple of things. I'm going to play the role of your dad. All right. And I'm going to be your paps.
Yeah.
Hey, son, come and sit down.
He talks more like this.
Okay. Son, come and sit down. I want a
This is
little
weird
word with
accent.
you. As you know, I've been very sick.
What?
Yeah, didn't I tell you?
No, I'm not having you making jokes about my dad being sick. Sorry, mate. You're fucking.
Okay, sorry.
Change that, mate. Next one. Fucking hell.
Johnny, do you want to do it? I'll be your dad.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. You put a curse on his dad as
you
well.
told me to do a bloody impression of your dad. I was going to play
So
comedy
talk about
dad.
being fucking ill, you weirdo. Like,
Okay, let's do.
just because your dad's dead doesn't mean you have to make my dad dead as well.
All right.
That's what it seems like. I'm sorry,
Let's
I didn't
do. Oh, that's out of order.
I mean,
Let's
that's what,
do,
that's what it seemed. I didn't mean that.
all right.
I'm sorry about
Okay,
your dad
you're
being-
not Greg. You're a guy called Philip. Okay.
This is getting too dark.
And I'm
man.
your dad called Ron.
Imagine your dead.
Jesus
Imagine
Christ,
your
it's called
dead
improv,
dad comes
fellas.
back and asks for all his stuff back.
I'm just a bit sensitive. Neither of my parents are dead. If my dad was already dead, I wouldn't mind talking
You can
about him
do
being
this.
dead.
So we'll come back to this in a few years. We'll do this again, yeah?
All right, imagine. Let's not
sorry.
make it one
We
person.
won't do that until you're dead, Dad.
Imagine your parents have died, you've inherited all the money, and you're sat on a beach somewhere, and then your parents come back like zombies and say they want it all back.
All right. You be the dad. You give me these 3 items.
Okay.
And you got, you're Ron. I'll be Ben. It makes it nice and easy. And you give me each of those 3 items. Describe the items for the listeners.
Oh, God. What? So you give me...
Yeah. Them 3 items that I've given you.
No, it was
And then
that
I've
one,
got, it was that,
Yeah.
that, and that.
Heirlooms.
Yeah, them 3 heirlooms.
Okay.
And you got to give me each one and then describe what you're giving me and why it means to you and why I've got to look after it.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Item number 1.
Hi, Ben.
You all right, Dad?
It's me, your dad, Ron.
Oh, how are you, Dad? You all right?
I'm not doing so good.
Yeah, I heard you've not been
I'm
well.
on my last legs.
I haven't come to visit you for a while, have I?
No, but I want to pass on to you these 3 heirlooms
Oh,
of
lovely.
mine.
What are they?
My grandfather gave them to my father. My father gave them to me. And my grandfather's father. Well, you get the point. So now I'm going to give them to you.
Okay, thanks,
Okay,
Dad.
so the first one is a wet wipe that you get from,
Wonderful.
like a chicken shop. Like a chicken shop wet wipe.
Oh, my God.
I used to love these things. You could use them to wipe down coffee tables.
Oh, it's making
if
me
you'd left
cry.
you'd spilt some ash or something, you go, yeah, just wipe it up, throw it in the thing. And this one's not opened. And they seal in the freshness forever.
Can I have a look, Dad? Oh, a lemon fresh wipe.
The second thing,
It's a pleasant. Can I open it or not?
no, you can't open it. You've got to pass it on to your son.
It dries your skin in seconds and leaves your skin
You
feeling
can
fresh.
pass it on to your son. You don't open it.
Thank you, Pops.
The second thing is a lens cap to a wide-angle Canon lens.
Thank you,
But not the
Pops.
lens itself.
Just the lens
Just
cap.
the lens cap. We've always hoped in our family that one day we might find a camera or lens to go with it.
Thanks, Pops.
But we're kind of
I'll cherish that.
poor, our family. Not very successful, kind of losers, our family.
Anything else?
I'm a loser. Your granddad was a loser,
Like Beck.
and you're a loser. You'll always be like Beck, but he's not really a loser. He's made quite a lot of money doing music.
Scientologist.
Anyway,
What's the last thing, Pops?
the last thing's a cheap disposable electric lighter.
That'll come in handy.
Which is even worse than a clipper because they don't fucking,
Doesn't
without
work.
light half the time. You can't rely on them. Yeah,
Oh,
shit.
thanks,
But
man.
we like them.
Right. Now we jump to, thank you, Pops. Now we jump to 10 years in the future. Well, I'm going to the repair shop and I'm handing these items over to Johnny, who's Jay Blades. So, right, I've got a few items here that I'd like to give you. So, well, one item actually.
Are you okay?
So yeah, I'm okay. So there's a story behind this.
Right.
My granddad, well, not my granddad, my father. Sorry, I get my relationships wrong with my family.
Oh, that's weird.
When he was passing away, he gave me this lemon fresh wipe.
Oh wow!
And my 6-year-old
We haven't
accidentally
seen one of those in here for. Oh
and
right.
took the lemon fresh wipe out, and it's all dried up.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
You are.
when you said you had a lemon fresh wipe, that really got my gander giddy. Because these are extremely rare. But what we find is a lot of people have opened them and actually used them. So this is probably just.
You should never take the wet wipe out.
You can hear the ghost of my father.
I
all the
can
time.
when I listen to it. It's like I could hear that.
So do you think you can get the juice back in the wipe and get it back in the packet?
I'll ask Stephen at the back if he can put some juice back in there for you. But I do not think it's going to be valuable. Other than a sentimental
what are you
value.
talking about? You don't value stuff on. You've ever seen the repair shop, Johnny?
Put some paint in there.
You're doing a bit of an antiques roadshow with this.
Yeah, go on. All right.
Right. Johnny, do you hear that?
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be valuable. When have they ever said that on the Antiques Roadshow?
Johnny, I think Johnny's thinking about the Gentle Bear too much.
If we jump 20 years in the future, I'd say, yeah, I'll take this to the Antiques Roadshow and see what it's valued at. Johnny, you've let us down a lot of improvs tonight. No, joking. You did your best. Okay, let's move on.
I did notice something this week.
Go on then.
I had a thought. Have you
Notice
ever...
my cock don't work.
No, I can paint. I can paint perfectly.
man.
Have you ever noticed Amy Schumer and Tim Martin from Weatherspoons have both got facial features that are far too small for their faces?
Nope.
Amy Sherman.
Yeah, so much so they look Photoshop. You know when you do those, pinch their face in really
know what you
small.
I think
mean.
just
Yeah.
when she puts on a bit of weight, she does. She looks a bit like that. There's a lady in something else. She looks like a blonde lady that. Oh, never mind.
So I was just wondering if
She
any
looks
of
like
the,
a blonde.
She looks fucking
any of
Amy
the-
Schumer, Johnny. You suck the life out of things. You're Amy
no, I was just thinking if any of the
Schumer.
Idol
No,
Matinee fans
Joking.
notice any other people
Okay.
that's the case, maybe send them into
with big heads and small faces.
where they look like a tiny little face in the middle of a big face.
Got ya.
So if any idea, send them into
You can do the honours, Johnny.
Idol Matinee
At gmail.com.
at gmail.com.
Right, my next question is, with not many improvs this week, but that was an improv,
Thank
wasn't
God.
it? Couple of drinks before a job interview, yes or no?
Yeah. It depends if they're smelly drinks, but they're going to be, aren't they? If you could inject the alcohol, I think would be the best. Why am I talking? If you could.
Perfect.
Oh dear. That would have happened.
You've got the job.
Well, fuck. What was the question?
Couple of drinks for a job interview, yes or no?
No, obviously. Yeah, a couple. I've only had a couple as well. I don't know why.
Pints?
No,
Straights.
no. What I was saying, inject.
Vodka.
If you could inject the alcohol, I mean, that's not advisable, but so they don't smell it.
I suppose it depends if you want the job or not.
Yeah, just have the feeling of like a little bit of a buzz, like a bit of confidence. You're better off doing a line of coke because they can't smell it on you.
Good point. Very good tip there.
Just a cheeky little
so anyone
line
listening, no alcohol, a little line of coke.
Cheeky little line of coke, and I'm not advocating drug.
Depends what the job is. If you've got like, a job in the city, maybe coke. If you want like a laid back job, say in the library, maybe do heroin.
Not bad. But
Or speed, and like in train
Heroin or
spotting.
speed?
Oh no, like in train spotting, he does a little bit of speed, but then speed would be a bit too much.
and if you're going to inject heroin, don't wear a t-shirt. to
and
a job
also, who
interview.
fucking sells speed these days? Everyone, I mean,
Unless you do it between your toes.
Oh, of
and then
course.
don't wear flip flops.
Sandals.
so yeah, do I mean something before a job interview, or just have some natural confidence, like me.
Or just going pissed.
Or maybe just Google the company and the role, and then show some interest and ask questions about what you'll be doing when you're in the company.
Or if you go for a job at Wenzel's, you can say, well, I Googled the company and the role. Wink.
Oh, nice one.
Oh, very good. You've got the job. But I
Googled the
don't like working
company.
with Polish people or Romanians.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. You not got the job.
Oh.
Oh, I'm not racist.
And that's why I voted Brexit.
I thought you were going to say Jews because aren't they a Jewish bakery?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think
That's what our anti-Semitic friend.
Yeah, but I don't think.
How can you have an anti-Semitic friend? So he's not a friend. He's not anti-Semitic. Which
Some
one
of
is
my
it?
best friends are racist.
Yeah, no, but he has got a problem. He's got a thing about thinking that Hitler did have a bit of a point. Not murdering 6 million of them. He doesn't go that. He's never killed anyone, but he does. He has a problem with the Jews, doesn't he?
But just to
He's like,
clarify, I think is it Wenzel's?
the Jews. The
Jews
so-
aren't client facing.
I don't mean the Jews. The Jewish people.
No, in the
people of
bake-
Israel.
in the
I
bake-
don't think you need to bring this up at the job interview.
Yeah.
You sure? Oh.
Yeah, I don't
Look,
think we need to know about
I haven't got
your
the problem.
friends.
But what was my point again? But no, he was the one who told me that Wenzel's was a Jewish bakery, and
I don't think
so that's why he doesn't buy anything from. But he does buy stuff
Well,
from
that's
there.
what it's based on,
He's
but-
full of shit. He loves Wenzel's. He loves Jewish
Mr.
people.
Wenzel's. Woo, woo, woo,
You can't say
woo,
Jew.
woo.
You can't say Jew. You can't say Jews.
You can.
You can't. I mean, you can. It's an easy word to say. Jew. But if you type it, it's not. You can't use it in Scrabble.
Can you not?
In Words of Friends, yeah. I was like, oh, because it's a good scoring word. Obviously, J's 10 or whatever. E's 1. W's 4. You get it crossing other shit. And I was like, yeah. And I had those letters. I was like, Jew, surely. They're like, nope. So it must be a slang. It's Jewish person, not Jew, I guess.
How do you find out you can't use it in Scrabble? Is it
You put it in, it says no. It says
Oh, the
not an
game on the
acceptable
phone.
word. Yeah,
Oh,
Words
well,
of
They
Friends.
don't,
Yeah.
Scrabble doesn't like Jews.
Words of Friends. Yeah. Turns out
Just saying.
our friend made that game.
Can you put
Whatever.
your friend? Not
Can you-
mine.
I'm your friend.
Can you put muslin in it?
Yeah, Muslims are. Yeah, I mean, Muslim. You can put Muslim or Muslin. Or can I don't know. I haven't tried to put Muslim. I haven't tried to put either in. But I
Words
imagine you
with
can.
friends.
Atheist.
Muslim's okay. You can say Muslim.
Of course, everything's okay.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen that Jet 2 advert? Baby, hold my hand.
Jet 2.
Finding out the
Well, he's dragging that bird around the world.
holiday advert.
Jet 2.
Yeah, that's called Jet 2. Jet 2. Jet 2.
Who's in
What's
the
that?
advert?
Gladiators.
What's it for? I don't
For
understand.
Jet 2, the plane company,
What
the
is Jet
flight
2?
company. It's
I
a
don't know
holiday,
what
holiday
that is.
company.
I don't know. Never heard of it.
Oh, you never seen it?
Never fucking heard of it.
Imagine if you were allowed to go abroad.
There's gonna be a Bard,
Baby, hold my hand.
there's gonna be a Bard of Meinhof
You'll
thing
see
here
it now.
Yeah,
Next
obviously,
week,
as
you'll
soon
be
as
I've seen it every day.
as soon as this finishes, I'll be like, oh god, that fucking Jet 2. Chances are I've already fucking
I
seen
don't want to
it.
see it anymore.
Barry, I'll tell you what it is. I've already seen it. I guarantee I've already seen it, but I just don't know. It's not registering in my brain. I'll see it again in the morning or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, that fucking advert. Yeah.
As a photography man, there was like a series of photographs that this couple went around the world, and it was his girlfriend dragging him by the hand. So you see his hand, and he was taking a picture with his other hand while she was walking ahead, and it was all like sites around the world. And then Jet 2 ripped it off for the advert.
Oh, I didn't know they'd done that.
Yeah.
Well, it's obvious. Most advertising companies just rip shit off the internet.
Bastards.
Oh, have you seen that advert on your phone that sometimes pops up, and it's for Misty? It says, I've earned money playing games on my phone.
No.
I've seen it every now and again. That's a weird one as well.
I've been getting phone
It's
calls.
people talking to themselves. Like
Oh,
they
right.
play the actor and the person in the advert.
I've been
It's
playing.
weird.
But I'm all about that game. But I'm all about that. Megan
seen
Trainor.
that
She hasn't
advert?
sold out, has she? Jesus fucking Christ.
Right, tell him-
she's someone with a small face and big
Tell
head.
Johnny,
and small face.
tell Johnny about it and all the
Uh,
listeners. Tell them
oh,
what
yeah.
this you're actually talking about.
Oh yeah, so there's an advert that comes up as one of these bingo things. I thought it was an actual gambling thing though, but it turns out at the end of it's a bingo advert. All these things on mobile phones, like betting things, whatever. And but it comes up with a cartoon. I think it's a cartoon version of Megan Trainor to begin with. It just jumps into I'm all about that game, and then there's all these bingo things coming up. Hey, you should play this bingo game. It's really good and blah 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 blah. And because at the end of the day, I'm all about that game. And then it's just this little I'm all about that game. I was like, fucking hell. But I did think it was a legitimate betting. But then it's a bingo thing where you don't spend any money. But still, it's just
Yeah, you probably do though.
yeah, it's just some way. Surely, there's
Isn't there like a punter in the advert that goes, "You've won again, Megan"?
Yeah. No, it's yeah.
I know. I'm all about that game.
Yeah.
Watch an advert
pretty
to get
sick.
3 more goes.
So cue what's it? Megan Trainor face.
I've been getting a lot of phone calls recently, and when you answer, you get the recorded message, and they've been from Amazon allegedly, and they've been increasing values. You have just been, you've just spent £500 with Amazon. If you have not, press 1. It's going to give you bank details on that. I don't know if you had those.
No.
Oh, someone's given my phone
Is that
number
your
because they
landline
think
or
I'm a
your
prick.
mobile phone?
My mobile. I haven't got a landline.
Okay, well that's probably because
I'm a cunt.
you've signed up for something like an old person would do accidentally without realising it.
Silly old cunt.
Like
No.
a silly old
I
cunt.
think my number's on this. Oh, it might be that.
You silly old cunt.
Is that your tech wizard?
Yeah. Have you had a
Yeah.
peak experience this evening?
I have, yeah.
Have you got anything else to bring to the table, anyone?
No.
You're on stage.
Baby, hold my hand.
Is
What
there
about the
anything?
Goodfellas scene? We were doing a Goodfellas
Nah,
improv in
fuck it.
memory of Paul Savino.
Paul
think it's-
Savino. Paul
Yeah.
Savino. Actually, that's something I do want to say about Paul Savino. I said it to Johnny. I was very sad, moved when I heard that he died. But I do actually, every time I chop my garlic, whenever I chop garlic, I'm always, every time I use garlic, I think of that fucking scene, and I try with my knife, with my paring knife, to cut as finely as he does it, but I can't be bothered to find a razor blade and actually do it like that. But I do. I just chop my garlic as fine as possible, and then, yeah, I've copied Paul Savino's.
Let me just wipe that tear from your eye.
Let me break your little heart. It's actually a shit way to cook garlic. It doesn't actually melt. It just burns.
Oh.
It goes all brown really quickly.
Well,
it's too
thank
thin.
you very much, Johnny, for ruining my garlic
And here we are on
experience.
BBC News. Now,
Oh,
Greg, where are we going to go?
To the Gentle Bear Comedy Club, of
All right,
course.
Darling, hold my hand. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Gentle Bear Comedy Club. Settle in, sit down. Tonight, this evening, we're at the Green Old Cock. We're at the Green Old Cock in Titanian Hampton. Very difficult to say that one. So I'm Mike Stephen Compare. We've got 3 cracking acts for you tonight, all getting ready for the Edinburgh Festival. They're doing their Edinburgh shows, so they're going to just try them out here this evening. So without further ado, let's go to the first act. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Stuart Pease. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Stuart Pease. Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all the trouble with the refugees, Stuart. We should just round them up and send them to Rwanda and teach the human traffickers a lesson. 52% of us voted for it. It's a democratic mandate.
More political shit, mate.
Look at all the trouble with the ports, Stuart. We should just close them all and teach the French a lesson and teach the British cheese. 52% of us voted for it. It's a democratic mandate. Look at all the trouble at the airport, Stuart. We should just close them all and teach the world a lesson and holiday in the UK. 52% of us voted for it. It's a democratic mandate. Look at all the trouble in the streets, Stuart. We should take away the right to protest and teach our citizens a lesson and lock them all up. 52% of us voted for it. Yeah. It's a democratic mandate. Look at all the people trying to move, Stuart. When we took away their freedom of movement, Stuart, 52% of us voted to take away our own freedom of movement, Stuart. It's a democratic mandate. And now they don't like it, Stuart. They don't like it up them, do they, Stuart?
Fucking Ramona.
And they don't even move out of the way because 52% of them voted for it and it's a democratic mandate. That was my impression of Stuart Lee. Good night.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was on Ramona there. Very annoying they are. Very annoying. We now have another act, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together and give a lovely warm welcome to Brian Bland. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Brian Bland.
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian Bland. I'm the blandest comedian in the whole of the UK. I'd like to start with a couple of observational jokes about cigarettes. Anyone ever noticed that the price of cigarettes has gone up and the price of vapes has gone down? Conspiracy? I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Brian Bland. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was Brian Bland. Hope you enjoyed that. And now our final act of the evening. Please put your hands together. You've probably seen her before. You may know this name. She's a headline act. It's Meghan Trainor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Meghan Trainor. She's all about that bass.
Hi there, guys. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed, but there's people like me and Amy Schumer whose faces are really tiny, but their heads are quite big. So anyway, I've made a new song up about that. So here it goes, okay? So I've got a really tiny face, big head though. I got a really tiny face, big head though. Got a really tiny face, big head though. Got a really tiny face,
Big head though.
I got a really tiny face compared to the size of my head. My dad kicked me out when I was young, made me move in the shed. Oh,
Kicked him out
oh,
of your
you
bed.
motherfucking card full. What the fuck? How long have we been fucking recording for? Oh, fuck me. Oh.
Still going.
Let's do this.
Oh. I mean, I'm all about that face. I've got a really tiny face. Oh dear. Anyway, I've been Meghan Trainor. Good night.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was Meghan Trainor. We're finishing it here. We just want to say goodbye to you. Good night and have a safe journey home. Thank you everyone for listening to this week's podcast. I've been Ben. This has been Greg.
Au revoir. I've been Gregoire.
And this has been Johnny.
Peace out. Bang, bang.
Toodaloo.